Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to my greenhouse. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Joe. There was a parcel in the mail for me today, and it's a parcel from an order that I placed with Ulik Cactus Nursery in southern Germany near Stuttgart, and it is a surprise package of plants. No cacti today, but stay tuned to find out exactly which type of plants have arrived for me today. So I recently showed you a couple of examples of beautiful agave in my collection. Those types of plants, agaves that are just absolutely beautiful, they're slow growing usually. They often, certainly in collections like mine here in Europe, don't actually become that big. They are beautiful plants to actually help stage the cacti and just bring in this beautiful atmosphere of succulent plants and variations of forms into your collection. So I love growing agaves, especially small, I wouldn't call them dwarf agaves, but agaves that stay relatively small in their habitus, in their size. So today's mystery box is in fact going to be a number of agaves to add to my collection of those plants that I've shown you just recently. So let's start unpacking. Let me just put this box on the table and put it out of the way a little bit. So I'm just going to open this here. All the paperwork, very important, plant passport, and that's a requirement to prove that plants are actually coming from a certified source. And by the way, Ulik is a CITES certified cactus nursery. As always, the plants and the articles coming from Ulik are always extremely well packed for transport. I've never actually had a single plant arrive damaged from Ulik, from an order from Ulik. So each plant individually wrapped, individually packed. So there's 5 plants in here, and just looking at the box, I think I'm actually going to go in order of size. I'm going to start with the smallest, and let's see what we have here as a first plant. Nicely wrapped, double wrapped in fact, in paper. And then something I also always really appreciate is Ulik actually, they pack their plants in such a way that they also send the plants in pots. So So when you order with Cactus Ulik, you can actually specify whether you prefer to have your plants sent in their original pots, or whether you'd like them to be taken out of the pots and sent basically without the soil, just basically ready for you to repot when you arrive them. I actually always like receiving my plants still in their original pots. I think it disrupts the plants least, and when they're packed as well as they are by Ulik, then you don't actually have any of the soil fall out, because they very carefully put a little plastic wrapper and then a paper wrapper around the plant, so you can see that the plant has all the original substrate still in the pot with it. Now, what do we have here? This is an absolute beautiful agave. It's a very small specimen still, but it's, in my view, one of the most beautiful agaves around. It's the agave albo pilosa, and it actually develops these beautiful white tufts at the end of each of the spiky leaves. And agave albo pilosa, like I say, once it reaches a size maybe 4 or 5 times the size of this young specimen, it becomes an absolutely beautiful plant with these dark green leaves and the woolly white tufts. They look like little brushes at the end of the actual leaves. So we started off with the smallest of the 5, and it's agave albo pilosa. Now the next one, just pulling that out of the box. Let me again open the first layer of paper wrapping. Just taking that, you can see that's the first layer. Then there's a second layer of very carefully wrapped paper, and then you come closer to the actual content of the packaging, and there's very nicely draped around the plant in order for the plant not to actually be damaged. Another separate layer of paper carefully wrapped, and then this is what I meant with the plastic wrapping. I really like this because it actually is quite tightly wrapped around the base of the plant, and it, like I say, prevents the substrate, the soil, from spilling out of the pot. So we take that off very carefully. Here we go. And the final layer of paper wrapping at the base of the plant. This is ultimately what holds the substrate inside the pot. We take that off, and voila, there's our beautiful plant in its original potting medium in the substrate. And this agave is one I was also really looking forward to. It's a cultivar, it's a agave titanota, and it's a cultivar called red catweasel. Do any of you remember the magician from a TV series, my God, many decades ago? Catweasel. Hilarious series that used to run on TV, I think British TV, and I used to watch that as a child and young person. Now you can see why it's called red catweasel, because it's got this reddish color on the base of the leaves, and then the leaves themselves have these beautiful structures, these little jagged teeth-like features. A beautiful agave. Now, really looking forward to seeing this one in between my cacti. As I said earlier, I love actually staging my cacti together with a couple of agaves in between, because they're just beautiful eye catchers, and they bring in, you know, a sort of a diversity of forms and shapes and colors into a landscape of cacti. I just love looking at that. You've probably noticed, you know, staging my plants is something that's quite dear to me. Okay, so Agave titanota cultivar red catweasel. Now for the next one, as I said, I was going from the smallest to the largest parcel. By the way, if you're hearing construction noise in the background, I apologize for that, but there's construction works going on in the garden and the house next to my greenhouse, so you know, you're likely hearing hammering and sawing and all kinds of mechanical noises in the background. That's not my my greenhouse expanding and working away in the sun. It is finally a bit of a sunny day today, but it's actually the construction works next door. Now, what's this one here? Ooh, now here is a real beautiful agave, another beautiful agave, I should say, coming up. Look at this one here. Let me unpack it. Any guesses? Has anyone had a sneak look at the name tag yet? Let me just take the plastic wrapper off. This is, in my view anyway, one of the most beautiful agaves when you see them, especially pictures also from their habitats from their habitats in Mexico. They are just absolutely beautiful plants. And what I'm talking about here is an agave parii, and it's the variety truncata. Here we go. Now look at that plant. Isn't that a beautiful agave? It's got these bluish colored leaves, and it has these reddish orange little hooks on the sides of the leaves. Look at that. Beautiful. Don't you think? Don't you agree? Agave parii variation truncata. These become quite a bit bigger than this young specimen, but it's going to take many, many years to actually really, you know, become much more sizable. So for a long time to come, hopefully, I'll be growing it at a relatively manageable small size in my collection. But it still is, even before it becomes a large mature plant, it's a beautiful little plant to be growing together with cacti. Now, it's going relatively quickly today. It's not a huge order. 5 plants, as I said. 5 plants that I wanted to add to my collection of beautiful agaves. And this is number 4 coming up. Let's take a look. And let's see what's in stock for us here. Ooh, wow, look at that. Another truly beautiful agave. What a wonderful plant. Let me take the plastic wrapping off first. I'm sure you can hear the construction noise in the background now. I apologize for that once again. It is a bit unfortunate timing to have that ongoing as one tries to record a video here, but then again I couldn't really wait any longer because A, the plants don't appreciate being in the packaging for too long, and B, it's actually quite nice weather today, so I wanted to make the most of that, and I decided to unpack even if there was the risk of noise interference, noise pollution, so to speak, from the construction going on next door. We'll see how much of that is picked up by the microphones here in the greenhouse, but for now I think we'll be fine. And I think in the worst case you don't need to hear me, you just need to see me. And in fact, I don't think you need to see me at all, you need to see the wonderful plants. Okay, now look at this one. Another just absolutely stunning agave. It's the agave Guadalajara, and it is a species, a botanical species that comes originally from locations in Mexico. So it is agave Guadalajara from Cactus. Isn't that a wonderful plant? And now, folks, we are on to number 5, the last of the plants in today's order, and it's relatively big. It's a lot larger than the previous ones, as you can see. Very well packed, and I know what's coming because I've seen a picture of it, of course, when I ordered it. Let's see if I can take this off here. That's the cardboard first layer. The paper second layer. And you can see already it is much larger than the previous ones. And yes, beautiful to see how carefully they've packed this one, because these type of plants are really very easy to damage when they're sent in the mail, and let's see what I mean in a moment. This one is a little bit larger. Again, I'm taking off the plastic wrapping. Here we go. This is the final layer of paper wrapping around the base of the plant. Again, the substrate wonderfully preserved inside the pot. And here we are. What a wonderful, wonderful agave. It's a very thin-leaved one. It's a bit like the nana. And this one is called Agave striata. It's a cultivar called Azurea. So the blue colored cultivar of Agave striata. And it has these wonderful tips of the blue leaves. And again, it's something to have in between the cacti. It's a plant that is just beautiful to look at and will hopefully grow very well here in the greenhouse as well. So, Agave striata, cultivar Azurea. Well, there we go. My 5 new additions of agave, additions to my collection of succulent plants, and they are mainly small growing agaves. Some of them, of course, will become much larger over the years, but for now they're wonderful plants to be growing together with cacti. Now, let me know whether you too like agaves and whether you're actually growing some. If you like, you can share some of the names of those that you're growing. Let me also know what you think of the agaves that I've ordered in today's mail order from Cactus. And I hope you enjoyed this today relatively short unboxing video, but nevertheless I hope you enjoyed the plants. I hope you liked them. Something different for a change. Doesn't always have to be cacti. There's so many wonderful succulent plants that we can be growing in our collections, and the agaves are just one example of many. Now, thanks so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this unboxing, and if you did, then leave me a like, click a like, leave me a comment also if you like, and if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, then please do subscribe. One of the many advantages, of course, is that if you subscribe and you click on the bell icon next to the subscribe button, you will always automatically get a notification when there is a new video uploaded onto my channel, so you won't miss any plants, any videos in the future. So please go ahead and subscribe. Thank you very much, and a big warm thank you to all of my subscribers who have already, of course, subscribed and who are just absolutely brilliant as a group of followers, of subscribers. I love engaging with yourselves. It's really just wonderful to be connected and to be exchanging thoughts and ideas about our favorite plants, our favorite hobby. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the plants. I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, take care and happy growing.